thought that a grandson of slaves and son of sharecroppers from Oakville, Alabama would emerge to make huge strides on racial tensions and become famous worldwide. This is exactly what Jesse Owens did in his lifetime. He came from a simple, poor background and grew to display major statements on the important issue of his time, racial inequality. Through hard work, dedication, and never giving up, Owens made something of himself and helped alter the American viewpoint dramatically. When Jesse Owens was a child, no one believed that he would get very far in life due to his chronic illness. He was constantly sick with bronchial congestion and pneumonia, so he was very weak as a young boy. Despite his illness, Owens was still expected to work on the farm and pick cotton. This work may have been what gave Owens the confidence in his strength, although he was constantly sick. Born in 1913, Owens lived the life of a typical sharecropper. His family was very poor and there wasn't much hope for improvement. That hope was revived when Jesse Owens and his family took part in the Great Migration to the North to try and find a better life. At the age of 9, Owens moved to Cleveland, Ohio, and attended a much more advanced school. Although he struggled at first to keep up with the more complicated academics, when he reached high school, he became a star of his East Technical High School track team. By participating in the 100-yard dash, the 200-yard dash, and long jump, and winning many events, Owens drew the attention of many. One of the many colleges that were awed by Owens' talents was Ohio State University. Owens attended this school despite the lack of scholarships and worked many jobs to get himself through school and support his family. His hard work and determination transferred into his athletics, since in 1935 he won every event he competed in. If this wasn't enough to prove his excellence, at the Big Ten Championship that year, Owens, the Buckeye Bullet, broke 3 world records and tied a 4th. These records would hold true for many years to come. Since his years at college showed his great talents were comparable to people across the globe, Jesse Owens would begin preparation for the 1936 Olympics in Berlin the next year. Jesse Owens lived out his young adulthood at a time of huge racial tensions across the globe. In the United States, blacks were still discriminated against and seen as unworthy of recognition due to their inferior past. In Germany, Adolf Hitler continued his campaign to create a perfect race, which did not include black people either. These discriminatory attitudes were highlighted in the midst of the Berlin Olympics. When Owens arrived in Berlin, he showed up to win. Overall, the United States, both black and white, won a total of 11 gold medals in 1936. Black athletes won a majority with 6 of these gold medals, displaying the individual strengths of a race viewed as a weak minority. Of these 6 medals won by black individuals, Jesse Owens contributed 4 of them. These 4 medals were won in the 100-yard dash, 200-yard dash, 400-yard relay, and the long jump. By his great success in the controversial Olympic Games, Owens displayed his strength to overcome the adversity from both Germany and the United States.
Jesse, what was your biggest thrill in Germany? Well, my biggest thrill was when I won the 100-yard dash, 100-meter dash rather, and the American flag went up and they were playing the Star Spangled Banner. And we stood up there and salute, and it was really a marvelous thing.
When it came time to present the gold medals to Owens, Hitler refused to show up and shake his hand in congratulations. At such a huge event, this was a massive statement to people across the globe about racial tensions and inequality. By succeeding as he did, Owens displayed the importance of individual excellence over the preconceived racial stereotypes that were commonplace at the time. In addition, Owens helped reveal the cruelty of Hitler's ways and slightly exposed the creation of a perfect race that would lead to the Holocaust in the next few years. On the home front, conditions and treatment were not much better. Upon arrival, Franklin D. Roosevelt decided not to meet with Owens as was typically done with Olympic athletes. Since he had won so many gold medals for the United States, this action was very disrespectful to Owens and his accomplishments. In addition to not meeting, Owens had to take a back elevator to attend the Olympic ceremony that was held when they returned. A prestigious Olympic athlete such as Owens could run for his country in the Games, yet he couldn't take a regular elevator to a ceremony meant to honor him. This imbalance of privileges would inspire Owens to take even further actions to fight racial abuses. It was expected that Owens would face opposition from other countries due to his race. It was expected that people like Hitler, who valued a perfect race above all things, would look down on a black man becoming an Olympic athlete. What was not expected was the extremely cold welcome he received upon returning home. Owens, along with all other black people, was aware of the racial inequalities that plagued the United States since the beginning, but he had thought achieving such great things would warrant him better treatment. His expectations were shattered as soon as he landed on American soil. Although he won 4 gold medals for his country, Owens still couldn't ride in the front of the bus or use a normal elevator. The fact that a black Olympic athlete who had achieved world records and many gold medals through his hard work couldn't enjoy the luxuries of a normal white man who had done nothing with his life is incomprehensible now, what was seen as a natural way of living during the time of great segregation. Owens had worked so hard to make something of himself from the very beginning. From pushing himself to achieve a higher education in his youth to striving to be an Olympic athlete, Owens knew he could be extraordinary if he set his mind to it. Despite the racial tensions that plagued his path to success, he strived to succeed and didn't let anyone get in his way. Owens is a true hero for pushing through the norms of society and attempting to change the country's opinions on the African American race. He wanted to prove that even though he is black, he could be amazing and better than anyone else in the world. Jesse Owens made huge impacts on race relations by simply achieving what he did through the Olympics. In addition, he took it a bit further by establishing his own company in Chicago after he retired from his track career. Owens was the owner of a business focused on public relations and marketing. By pursuing this path, Owens faced even more difficulty in establishing himself as a reputable marketing expert in an area populated by many white people. Despite the obstacles, Owens was again successful and triumphed above the racial tensions that could have easily held him back from doing what he loved, like they did to so many other black people. He showed time and time again that he wouldn't let the opinions of the world around him suppress him to submission. Since Owens had succeeded in so many areas that African Americans could only dream of, he decided to speak about it across the country. He would explain how he got to where he was and how others could follow in his footsteps of overcoming racial norms through hard work and determination. He would explain how they too could achieve the American dream. The battles that count aren't for gold medals. The struggles within yourself, the invisible, inevitable battles inside all of us, that's where it's at. This quote of his represents how Jesse Owens' main goal was not to be a successful Olympian. The goal of becoming a gold medal winner coincided with his main goal of overcoming everything that stood in his way. His message of triumph was spread to so many people throughout his speeches, and his words inspired thousands of people throughout the country. Although African American people would not be treated equally for many years to come, Jesse Owens made huge strides to prove that black people who were typically thought of as weak and incompetent could be extremely strong and successful in sports as well as the economy with his growing business. Near the end of his life, the United States government finally recognized Jesse Owens for his amazing achievements. In 1976, President Ford awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Additionally, in the year 1979, he was awarded the Living Legend Award by Jimmy Carter for achieving unparalleled greatness and inspiring others to reach for the stars. After all of the awful treatment Owens received throughout his time at the Olympics, his hard work was awarded as it should be, and he had the chance to see the impact his actions made in the United States. On March 31, 1980, Jesse Owens died of lung cancer. In the 66 years of his life, he fit in so many great achievements. From moving up in the ranks to become a 4-time Olympic gold medal winner, to establishing a successful business in a big city, to inspiring others to go for their dreams no matter where their place in society is, Owens challenged the stereotype that was set for African American men. He used his strength and perseverance to amaze others and truly make a difference in the United States from that point forward. Someone with a strong arsenal of achievements such as Owens could easily become very pompous towards others. He wasn't like this in that he kept his modesty and chose to use his achievements for a much more important cause. Jesse Owens was inspirational in so many ways, and his determination to make a great difference in our country constitutes the label of an American hero.